Hello and welcome to Let's Play of Dragon Age Origins. This is a modern BioWare role-playing game, and that's pretty much all you need to know. If you played one of them, you know exactly what to expect. Might as well get started. This is some kind of an Ultimate Edition, so it means all the DLCs are included and the expansion is included in the game.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. Even be too late. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
And to the character generation, so the background you select will determine which of 6 distinct opening stories you play through. It also affects how characters respond to you throughout the game, and that is quite true. It doesn't really affect much, but it's it's the largest thing that affects your story, but it's the most meaningless in how it affects your actual character class and abilities. it does have minor impact, but it's not too big of an impact. Choice of a male and female. I'll play a dwarf and I'll play male. My character will be a warrior. There are three classes: warrior, mage, and rogue. They're more of a branches. They'll also branch further into specializations, but these are the choices that make the most difference. I play the warrior the least. Mage probably the most, rogue a little bit more than the mage, but not that much. I certainly think the mage is the best class to go with. It's the most interesting, the most powerful. It doesn't. The only reason not to play it is really if you don't want to play a mage. For some reason. For me it is, that's what I've played the most, and it's powerful enough that you can solo the entire game with a mage. So I'd like to play something else. This is a group-based game in that you have companions that have a lot of time and effort has been devoted into developing them, and the combat is also meant to be group-oriented, so it's not a bad idea to just specialize in something and leave the rest of the things for the other characters in your group. It also makes you can't ignore the others like that. But yeah, a warrior. I have a sort of a good idea where I want to go in the specializations too. But we'll see. My character will be a typical dwarf in the sense that, or maybe a typical dwarven stereotype. I'm very. Ooh, there's two backgrounds to choose. There's the commoner and the noble. I'll choose the noble. I'm going to be, well, very proud of being a warrior. So I'm going to be sort of a works hard and plays hard type of character. I love fighting for the sake of fighting, and I'll try to take as many pleasures out of life as I can. I like life. Life is good to me. I intend to enjoy it as much as I can. I enjoy challenges, so if there's some kind of a danger or a challenge, it doesn't really frighten or daunt me. It's more of a gets me excited to finally try to rise up to the challenge and or conquer it. That sort of thing. Maybe not the sharpest tool in the shed, but still not exactly a total moron either.
Greetings.
You can't have a hairless dwarf, that just doesn't work. You're a gnome at this point. It really is the beard that does it. Yeah, I like this general look, but I don't intend to spend too much time on the character appearance. Maybe the hair is the most significant one. Also, I don't know what tattoos signify in dwarven culture, so I'm not going to use them here. Well, I don't think hair is the important one. It's the beard that really makes the character on a dwarf. Yeah. This looks nice. Or is it? It seems like way too much work. I wouldn't put that much work into my hair. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, this looks like someone's using hair gel. No, this one does. Yeah. No thanks. A very simple, something very natural. Maybe a little bit of a braid here or there. Yep, this looks fine. Well, there most of them look fine. Yep. Okay, beard. This is the important one. How much of a beard do I want? So you can just select your level of braiding. Ah. Yeah. This looks like there's a lot of work gone into this beard. A lot of pride in it. Okay. Not sure about the coloring. Not exactly a lot of options here. Don't like the black. Just needs to have some color in it. Red would be the showiest. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, let's go with the brown one. Nothing fancy. Very generic looking dwarven look. More eyebrows though. Okay, stubble. Does it matter? Not like it's going to be seen through there. So yeah. Yeah, I like Carface. A little bit more brow height, please, so it doesn't look all sad. Eye color doesn't really matter. Kind of brown. Eye size could be a little bit more. I don't want to look like. Ooh, it sort of looks like crazy eyes. Ooh, squinting eyes. Very suspicious looking eyes. Tired eyes, no. Maybe a little bit squinting, but this is too much. Yeah. Very, very, very generic looking. Wide nose. As large as nose as we can get. In general, I'm happy with the nose. I don't want to mess with that. Can't do anything with the jaw and mouth, probably because of the beard. He would just ruin how it looks, very likely, or show through the beard, something like that. So clipping problems. Maybe it doesn't even exist because of the beard is there. Neck thickness, yeah, as thick as possible. Portrait. Background color. And expression. Okay. Yep, that's our man. Proud, noble dwarven warrior. Duran. No, I'm not gonna correct Duran. Durin Aeducan. Easy to remember.
I have lost concentration.
How do you do? Right, casting.
Greetings. Ugh, my spell. This isn't working. You're in my way. Goodbye. Don't be foolish. Ugh, my spell.
Greetings.
Greetings.
How do you do? Oops, where's my head?
This is not good.
Coming through. Off I go. No, let's not and say we did. Right, casting, focus. New weapon.
Greetings. Ugh, my spell. What does it take to kill these things?
Okay, I like the violent. I'm sort of torn between cocky and violent. It's hard to say because there's not that many voice samples, but I'll go with violent. It certainly fits my nature. Warrior, trying to be the best, trying to beat challenges. So a violent will do.
You're in my way.
And finally, to the actual character. There's a couple of types of warriors. I don't see myself being the dexterity based one. It just isn't the dwarven way in heavy armor. Even so, there's two major lines: some kind of a group tank, or just go for damage. I think I'd rather be the damage dealing one. Naturally, we'll have to tank some level of damage, but since we are a frontline warrior, but that's not our thing. We're not going to try to draw aggression from everyone and hide behind a shield, able to tank all damage. We'll be the one. We have two choices: either two weapons or a two-handed weapon. One or the other. And I'm not absolutely sure which way I want to go. Two weapons would be very fast attacks. It will require some level of dexterity, and I don't really know at this point where I want to put my stats in. I'd also like to have a little bit of cunning, maybe. Although I don't know if it works for our character too well. We need to put the points before we can see the next pages. So maybe a little bit of a strength. Strength and dexterity will be the important ones, for at least for the start. I'm not sure I'll take those attributes, but I need to choose something to look in front of us, see what our options are. Expert combat training. I'd like to take coercion. It's a dialogue ability. the reason is simply that coercion is only something you can take for the main character, so we don't have a lot of cunning, so we can't, at least for a long time, take the rest of these. But for now, at least like to have that single point there, so we'll have an option there once in a while. I don't know if it's that worthwhile, but it'll, I think, open up more interesting options than just taking expert combat training from the start. We'll get additional ones of these, and we don't have the stats for even the improved coercion, so we're going to go somewhere here anyway with the future skills. This is what I wanted to see. Okay, a lot of strength. Strength 20, dexterity. Yeah, dual weapon or two-handed. Two-handed is a lot of powerful but slower attack. Some nice abilities. Sustainable abilities, basically something that's some mode you activate and it stays on at a cost of reducing your stamina. That's the upkeep cost. So immune to stun and knockdown effects. So there's abilities that are useful here, but I think it requires you to have a two-handed weapon in hand to be able to use. So that's the big choice, and that determines our attributes where we want to go. This is just strength. Pump everything into strength if we take the two-handed. If we take dual weapons, there's a lot of dexterity involved, 36 at least. With the two-handed, there's no dexterity, so just strength. Strength will be better to actually make doing damage with melee weapons. This seems to be a tree of or a branch in training that is passive abilities, basically increasing how well you use your weapons. Yeah, able to wield full-sized weapons in both hands. Stamina costs for all dual weapon talents are also reduced. There are some negatives to having two weapons, and this basically mitigates them and improves on them. So you'll start to first, yeah, get the normal weapon bonuses, then start to get extra bonuses. So these two branches should be our abilities. Okay, past. Normal damage, stunning the targets. A cripple. Penalties to movement speed, attack, and defense unless it passes a resistance check. Punisher. Penalties to attack, defense, or big knockdown. So a debuffing line of abilities. Okay. Flurry of blows. Dual weapon sweep. Momentum. Increased attack speed. Whirlwind. Yeah. Sustained, activated. So a passive ability is sort of a mix of sustained modes and active abilities that are do damage and are disabling ones. And then there's pretty much a damage tree. I like the idea of wielding two swords or two axes in battle, so I think I'll go with the dual weapon route. The thing is, we're gonna need a lot more dexterity if we're going to do that, so we're gonna go back a little bit. We also need strength. More likely, yeah, increases chances to hit, more likely to dodge incoming blows, contributes to damage dealt by piercing weapons like daggers and arrows. So this isn't the most important thing. Strength will be the one that determines chances to hit, how much damage we deal with melee weapons, things like that. So strength cannot be just brushed aside. It's what determines how good we are actually as a fighter. And we have 2 points to spend. Powerful, yeah. Greater health, reduced fatigue penalty for wearing armor. Not bad abilities at all. Thing is, we need something active abilities right from the start. Otherwise we'll just use the auto attack continuously, and that's a bad way to fight in general. You need some kind of disruptions and advantages over your enemy. Which route to go? That's the we're better off going deep than trying to pick the first one in each tree. So which one is better, Riposte or Flurry? That's a lot of extra damage. Well, a lot and a lot, but it's a couple of activated active abilities that do more damage than normal. This is more of a disabling line of skills, and I think that might be the base to start out with, because you can, not just are you able to do damage, you can interrupt others, and that'll mean a lot less damage coming to you. So, dual striking. When in this is a sustained mode. When in this mode, the character strikes with both weapons simultaneously. Attacks cause more damage, but the character cannot inflict regular critical hits or backstab. So if it's a one-on-one fight, this will actually be a good one. The backstabs require you to be able to maneuver quite a bit, and that just doesn't work. More importantly, we get riposte. The character strikes at the target once, dealing normal damage as well as stunning the opponent unless it passes a physical resistance check. There's always a physical resistance check to these kind of abilities, so that's nothing abnormal. The character then strikes with the other weapon, generating a critical hit if the target was stunned. So this is potentially sunsets and does a critical hit. So I think it's a good combination in my. I think it's a good combination. I'm not an experienced player with a warrior, so I think it's a good combination at the start. We can also switch between a shield and a second weapon. With the shield we can use a shield bash. It has a knockdown effect, so we can sort of alternate between these two to have some kind of a disrupting ability every 10 seconds in combat. We need dexterity 16 for this. We can't get cripple on the next level anyway, so oh no, we need a lot of dexterity anyway, so there's no point in doing that. And our character is ready. boisterous fighting and I guess life pleasure loving dwarven warrior. I would say maybe irresponsible too. He's a dwarven noble, but that's not where his interests lie. His interests lie in personal gain, pleasure, and the joy of fighting.